So, the Super Bowl. Don't know if you've heard about it. It's the American football season's big finale, and it's a pretty big deal. So much of a big deal that everyone at work took the occasion very seriously. Loads of pizzas were ordered, and there was a huge spread put out. After we finished up for the day, we headed out for some pre-game drinks. Now, I just want it to be known that I would never do this back home. In fact, the thought of making this video bored me to tears too, which is why I found some subject matter to spice it up a bit. Anyway, I was sitting in a bar waiting to watch a football game. The next 5+ hours of my night were going to be spent there. But you may be asking, 5 hours? Isn't an American football game played over 4 15-minute quarters? Why yes. Yes it is. And 4 15 minutes of American football adds up to about 4 hours of spectacle. Believe me. The match started off promisingly. Jalen Hurts scored a touchdown for the Eagles and things were looking hopeful. But then Travis Kelce scored one for the Chiefs too. By the end of the first quarter, they were tied, and that's when we called it. It was going to be a very close game. Now, a good question to ask at this point is, was I taken in by the excitement of the event? Of course not. It was so boring. The real brain itcher of all of this is a lot of the Americans I have spoken to say that they mainly watch for the ad breaks. Fancy that. The main draw of the biggest football game of the season isn't the actual game being played. But the commercials I saw didn't hold a candle to the more exciting cleaning ads back in the UK.
Hi, I'm Derek Bum. Say goodbye to daily stains and dirty surfaces with new Kitchen Gun.
This sink is filthy, but just 3 shots from Kitchen Gun, and it sparkles like new.
There, all clean again.
New Kitchen Gun, now with laser sight and night vision for after dark cleaning.
Now, to be fair, I find the football back home just as boring. But one thing I've noticed is that sports fans at home and in the US have completely different relationships with their chosen sport. Unlike the UK that only really focuses on soccer, the US has different sporting seasons, which is why the sports fans here have to diversify. So someone who supports the Eagles, for example, will probably support the Phillies when the baseball season rolls round. Speaking of, the Eagles had made it to the Super Bowl, and with them being the favoured local team, everyone in New Jersey, including myself, was now a mandatory Eagles fan. The second quarter, much like the first, started off with hope. With some assistance from Hurts, Brown scored another touchdown for the Eagles, but as if by clockwork, the Chiefs' Nick Bolton came back with their own touchdown too, equalising the scores yet again. Later though, your boy Jalen Hurts steps in with another touchdown, followed later by a field goal from Jake Elliott, causing the Eagles to really soar ahead at half-time by a full 10 points. So this phenomenon of semi-mandatory fandom happens back home too. If the local team is doing particularly well, everyone will jump on the bandwagon. Or if England starts to get pretty far into the World Cup, all of a sudden everyone is a dyed-in-the-wool, St. George cross-waving, signet ring-wearing England fan. And for the most part, they're pretty much the same as their American counterparts. But there is one phenomenon that I have not been able to find in US sports, and it's this.
Well, the match is now over, but there was also trouble inside the stadium, as you can see from these pictures, with stewards having to intervene as rival fans provoked each other. Play was stopped on several occasions after fans invaded the pitch. Well, as West Ham took the lead in extra time, 50 or 60 fans ran onto the pitch, some jeering, taunting opposition players. It took several minutes for police and stewards to restore order, during which time players were forced off the field for a short time. So scenes
British sporting at its finest. But never mind that, because Rihanna is doing the halftime show and, oh my god, doesn't she just look amazing? Going into the third quarter, Pacheco closed the distance between the teams and scored another touchdown for the Chiefs. Elliott offered another field goal for the Eagles, ensuring that their admittedly now slim yet all-important lead continued into the final quarter. Football hooliganism, as brutal as it seems, is sort of fascinating in a morbid way. And don't get me wrong, American fans have plenty of crazy in them. When their team wins, this is how they act. Check out this video of when the Eagles last won the Super Bowl. I was gearing up to see this again this year.
We doing battering rams? We knocking down City Hall with it? Yeah! We're storming the City Hall with this ball!
This city has been waiting for a championship like this. And here...
The thing is, football hooligans in the UK aren't necessarily counting on a win or a loss. They would show up in immense numbers just to have a fight.
In 2004, Millwall played away in Europe for the first time against Hungarian side Ferencváros, who also had a reputation for football violence. Up to 3,000 Millwall fans landed in Budapest, though the ticket allocation was just 1,500, and a night of chaos ensued. Ferocious running battles which left one British fan stabbed in the back.
Millwall here, being one of the more aggressive firms in the country, would sort of organise themselves. They would source soldiers for their armies and then roll up just to get some action.
And they went, come with us. So I went with them, and so did the sergeant. And the sergeant bowled out. He went and left. So I was on the terraces with these 15 men and me, and thinking, this is only going to end in one way. And they could tell I was nervous, I suppose, in the politest way of putting it. You know, it's 15 top blokes, me, surrounded by 8,000 Arsenal. And then they start singing No One Likes Us in the middle of the Arsenal North Stand.
Yeah, they even have a battle cry just to rile up their enemies, just to tease out a reaction. Although, I bet some American football teams must have battle cries of their own. Speaking of which, the final quarter began and Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs sets up touchdowns for Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore, causing the Chiefs to surge past the Eagles in points. Hurts made another valiant effort, scoring a touchdown, once again equalising the teams, but it all ended when Harrison Butker sealed the deal with a field goal for the Chiefs. And with that slim 3-point difference, Philadelphia's Super Bowl hopes evaporated into the night. I didn't have a horse in this race, but the Americans I was there with obviously did. From what I saw though, they took it on the chin. I was expecting dramatic meltdowns. What I got was the feeling of, we'll get 'em next time. Ooh, I was able to find pitch invasion footage for the NFL. Here we go. Just be ready, okay? It's pretty graphic stuff.
A black cat now on the field. Halloween this past week, and a black cat is running across MetLife Stadium. A few weeks ago, we were here for a Monday Night Football game. We had another Halloween theme. Now comes this.
Maybe we need to bring the ghost back to get rid of the cat. I mean, maybe we should. I don't know.
I mean, got cat corralling skills in them.